the equipment that we'll be using for radiotelephony, and these are our walkie-talkies. These are the devices that we'll be using. They're modern. Some people they call them wireless messages and so on, but they're basically radio equipment. So basically we use them for whenever you're flying the drones and so on. There is a need to learn on how you can communicate with other pilots, whether they are flying manned aircrafts or unmanned aircraft as well. You need to give each other updates. So you use radio communication to do so. And for our trainings, this is what we'll be using. So you can set different channels and so on. So we'll be broadcasting communications. So for example, another person may be flying the drone at a certain area. I might be also be flying a drone at a certain area. And let's say there is a manned aircraft that will come maybe at some point in time. So there is a need for all of us to be communicating. So how do we do that? We use radio communication. So here, this is what we'll be using. Of course, there are dedicated channels that are used for that, but for demonstration purposes, for learning purposes, we'll be using the channels that are set for these walkie-talkies. So we have different types here. We have these 2S and these light ones. So we'll just be using this. So we'll unbox them. So these are the walkie-talkies that we'll be using. So let me just pour this one. So yeah, so this one is on, and let me just open another one and give you a quick demo of how this works. So I have two. This one is on, well, this one is off. So let me just switch it on. So okay, so the first step is you have to make sure that all the devices are on one channel. So we have 15 channels on these devices. So let's use channel 1. So you have this little knob. You just rotate it to, so you can hear. It's Chinese, but yeah, it's written here 1. So we're setting to channel 1. So for example, if I do this, 1, 2. But there is feedback, so you can see 1, 2. So for example, Jen, can you get this one? Hi Jen, how are you?
Good, thanks.
So,
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so this is what we'll be using. And the words, they have coverage. I think 5 kilometers or something like that. So you can still communicate this if you're within 5 kilometers. So as long as there is a good connection or something like that. So thank you. So this is what we'll be looking at in terms of radiotelephony, and we'll dive into the actual content, like the phonetic alphabet and so on. Yeah. So thank you very much. Bye.
Okay, so what we have here are controllers or transmitters, and this is what we use to actually remove them because they're delicate, so they have holders. So I'm going to be unboxing this one. I mean, it's already unboxed, but removing it out of the plastic. So as you can see, I know it's pretty, right? But this is how we turn it on. It has a power button and then you turn it on, and these are the switches. And then we have here all the channels. This is what we use when you want to like fly a drone, you want to control certain parts of the drone. Yeah, so this is basically what you use. And then, okay, the name of this is AT9S Pro. Okay, emphasis on the Pro.
And for this one, we have the Rydberg AT10. So, yeah. And speaking of other controllers, we have the other one. This is the T Pro. Of course, it's a small controller, but then packs a punch. So let's open up this bad boy. It comes in a fancy case. So, let's open it up. Voila! this is what it looks like when it comes out of the case. So, as you may have noticed, it looks significantly smaller compared to the other controllers, but then it does pack by a punch. So if you want to transmit high volume data in terms of audio and video, then this controller does the job. Of course, if more on the recreational side, plug it into your PC, enjoy some games. So yeah, thank you very much.
I forgot to mention this. This is actually a transmitter. You connect it to the drone before you actually start using this. So it actually transmits the channels from here to the drone. Exactly as small as it is, but yeah, it's big.
So we know that flights are affected by the wind speed and wind direction. So to measure that, we have this device here, which is the digital anemometer. So I'm going to unbox it to show you guys how it works. This digital anemometer measures the wind speed, so that the drone pilots on the ground are able to determine the speed that is there to see if it is safe to fly the drone or not. So we turn it on by pressing that red button, and as you can see, it's on. And on top of the anemometer here, we have the arrow, which shows us that we're supposed to place it in a way that the wind should be coming from this side and going from outside. So I'm going to give an example of how the wind is measured. When I try to blow inside, it's supposed to give a reading. So as you can see, there is that reading there. So when flying drones, you can either use this one on the ground, or you can use a geomapping system, which also tells you if it is good to fly a drone or not. So as you can see, we have all these things here that are telling us if it is safe to fly the drone or not. As you can see, we have the red boxes that are showing that it is not good to fly. So there is the gust, which is the wind that goes pam, pam, pam. And we have the weather, it's showing that it's cloudy but as well as sunny. We have the wind speed, which is 10 meters per hour, and we have the precipitation, the visible stats. So all these things are important for you to know if it is safe to fly your drone or not. If you do not consider these things, you might not be able to fly your drone properly, and it might end up falling down and you might end up breaking it.
I want my arms. So for example, you're turning the engine. Energy board is with the car. Okay, what about saying? I go so wrong. You get telemetry device, which is telemetry devices. The gentleman connection of PC, you're going to drone in flight controller pack. So you have yourself. The GPS module, M10. I stand my landing gears actually. So that's just a check memories. Landing gears, I got my law. Just who's got all. Then he changed my law, my stand to Gujan. So I got a order. So how to assemble this? Everything you see, how you start from just one page. It's easy. The first thing in my car, my motor.